Divine Masculine. All right. I have a very important message for you. Do not allow your work schedule or being too busy to stop you from this trip, to stop you from this vacation, to stop you from whatever is coming in for you. There is something that you have been hoping would happen, praying would happen, something returning to you that was once lost. Whatever this is, you're going to need to make time, like from your busy work schedule. You're going to need to make time from like, maybe you never use your PTO, you never take off work, you're always work. You're going to need to really be willing to take this break when the opportunity arises, when the signs and synchronicities show up for you. This is a confirmation for you. Like, this is going to get things moving. This is going to be like the catalyst that gets something going in your love life. Okay, so I don't know what this is, but if you are new, welcome to Tarot Fessions with Talk Tequila, where we explore raw energies for what it is, just as it is. All right, if you're returning, welcome back, you guys. I'm glad to be here. So you could be in your divine masculine energy or your divine feminine energy. You can flip the roles however you need to, or you can wait for the confession message from divine feminine. Okay, so let's see. So what's your channel message to my divine masculine? I feel like there's a lot of memories that are influencing this connection, both positively and negatively. So as well, that's a confirmation for you too, divine masculine, not to allow the good or the bad times to be the thing that prevents this new door opening up, or this fresh start from coming in. Okay, Spirit, what's your channel message for divine masculine? Growing. Yes, what I said. It's time to get out there. It's time to enjoy your life, divine masculine. A new day. Okay, it's time to get out the house. I can already hear y'all sighing already. Like, I really do not care to literally go out there. Like, this is you being really comfortable in your sacred space, comfortable in your home, in your privacy, just doing the same regular thing over and over again, the same consistent schedule, the same consistent everything. But something is unfolding for you and it feels very magical. I feel like this is like going back home, or going back to a time in your life where nostalgia, something feels like it would be too much work. Something keeps stopping you or hindering you from opening up to this potential connection, or opening up to where this could go. There's something about a connection that has it's like the building blocks to a successful, prosperous, healthy type of connection, relationship. So much growth and there's so much evolution involved in the connection, but it's like you keep stopping it from coming in, and it's based off of something being too much work. You have overload here. It's like, I want this, but I'm content in where I am, and taking on a relationship right now is just too much work. Some of you could be very single and you're content with being single because work is already a big responsibility for you. This is also, I'm so caught up in my spiritual practice and my spiritual life that I don't make time to go out there and take a break and really enjoy my life. There's this energy where it's like, outside is where you're going to find it. Outside is where you're going to heal. Like, Spirit's been driving this whole narrative of, even if you're having a creator's block or you're having writer's block, there's a need to get out in the sun. There's a need to really grow through experiences. Some of these experiences are going to help you come up with a new idea, right? A new day, a new perspective. I'm seeing a lot of reunions coming into play. I'm seeing playful energy. I'm seeing a lot of like childlike, having fun. Back in the day when you connected with people, it wasn't so hard. Like, it wasn't like, oh, call me at a certain time, respond at a certain time. So you have this energy of missing when it was no responsibilities, no jobs, carefree in the world, missing that, reminiscing on those days when, the parents worried about all of those adult things. But something that you do where you work overtime, you are a workaholic at this point, is really preventing you from giving yourself permission to use that PTO or take time to yourself to really enjoy the life that you're working so hard for. Or you're waiting to enjoy it once you're dead. You know what I'm saying? Or you're waiting to enjoy it once you arrive. But arrival is the illusion. It's today, the present moment. So what channel message do you have? What's your messages for my divine? Yeah, this is like fantasy versus reality. This is self-sabotaging behavior. So what Spirit is showing me is that you have a tendency to... Oh yeah, Spirit said, you saw how my flame just lit up like that and made the whole area bright? It's like you sabotage something that lights you up, something that you want, and you get so excited for it. But every time you want to ask that person out or you want to make time to do it, you're like, no, I have to work, or I'm not going to have time. You may have even already done that, where you literally sabotage opportunities to see someone. You sabotage opportunities of love over and over and over again. But there's one particular person where there has been lessons involved, but you adore this person. There's been ups, there's been downs. They could have had lessons that they had to go through in their own personal life. They may have had to grow up, divine masculine, or you. So it's like, even if it's you, right? Let's say you've had to grow up. Even when you want to reach out to this person, you say to yourself, it'll never work. Or that person will never forgive me. There's something about allowing something, negative thoughts in your mind, be the reason as to why you won't go after what your hopes and dreams are, or you won't create an opportunity to see where it will go. Even if you adore them, it's like having a fear of failure. Even though you don't want nobody new, this is the energy where you don't want nobody else but this energy. Okay, there's someone in your life, divine masculine, where you don't want no one else but this person. You have this person in mind, but this could have been a connection where it was just flirting, or it's just for fun. Like, it's easier to be in a fantasy than it is to be in real life. It's easier to, this is like, I see you when I see you, or catch you when I see you, than it is to commit. This is having fears of commitment, fears of, someone else not being able to accept parts of you that maybe someone familiar already accepts. This is that energy as well. You could have a relationship where there are karmic lessons that you're learning, and that person may accept aspects of you that you feel like another person won't accept. So it's familiar and you stick with it. They may know how you like sex. They may know your body. Y'all may have smelt each other's shit before, and it doesn't stink to them because it's familiar. But your heart is calling you somewhere else. Your heart wants something new. You want to grow. You feel stagnant. You feel like, you know everything about this energy. So it's like, the right thing for you is to stick to what you know. If it's not broke, don't fix it type of energy. But is that really loving yourself? You're settling for short-term connection, short-term options, all right? And you're avoiding a heart-to-heart conversation. You feel like you need your soul, and your heart feels like it needs to have with another person that you have a lot of chemistry with, okay? There's this energy of something wasn't able to get off the ground. Something wasn't able to, may have had a false start, or you wasn't able to really explore the relationship how you wanted to. Or maybe there was never a relationship to begin with. Who knows? But if you don't give up and you give yourself permission to have that connection, you would be very surprised of what could come in for you. That's what they're saying. Don't allow this self-sabotaging thoughts stop you from having true love. It's like you can either settle for short-term connections, familiar connections, or you can settle for someone that loves themselves, you know. But yes, would it require you to love yourself and be honest with yourself and be transparent and ask yourself what you're willing to settle for? Yes. But anytime you're in that space of clarity and truth within yourself, then you're already growing. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good thing. So whoever makes you look at yourself in the mirror, that's your mirror. Whoever in your life makes you want to be a better person, not for them but for yourself, those are signs and synchronicities that the universe is trying to give you, that spirit has been trying to tell you. Four of Pentacles. Yeah, there's an aspect of you that's very possessive, and you feel like that possessive trait will be something that pushes another person away, right? You have a tendency of having a hard time breaking up, and part of you has this energy where it's easier to live a lie. It's easier to just keep it casual and fun because you don't really have to fall that deep in love where if a person left you, it would hurt you so bad. So it's easier to stay in casual relationships and just be platonic or friends with benefits than it is to really fall in love. This is like keeping it at a very safe space where at any given time, if that person leaves, you're like, cool, you don't want to do it? Fine. Because there's a fear of falling so in love with that person that it could potentially take you to a dark place within yourself where you feel like that person has the ability to break you down or to make you feel so depressed if you lost them or so hurt if you lost them. And if you've ever experienced that type of low space in your life before, or that type of, you know, like you really had to fucking heal from that relationship after losing that person, and it was so much work involved, it's like you promise yourself to never ever fall in love or allow yourself to fall that in love with a person ever again, which was committing yourself to a facade. I'm gonna keep it real friendly, real superficial, real play, hit it and quit it, real fun, casual, see you when I see you, no strings attached, right? But at the same time, the quality of relationships that you're experiencing it's like, I'm tired of just running into random person after person. I'm tired of just having, you know, a fuck buddy, or I'm tired of just settling for bimbos and bimbettes, you know. I want something more now. I want something more depth. But again, what keeps you from that is the Four of Pentacles. You're like, I want it, but I would really have to heal this aspect, this trigger. You have a trigger inside of you from a heartbreaking relationship that you once went through. This could be a heartbreak that you remember with this exact person. This person could have been someone that specifically hurt you, or another person hurt you and you moved on, but you never healed from it. So you haven't been able to give another person that heart. You haven't been able to love another person again because someone else is still holding the pain. Okay, there's relationships from your past that still holds a space in your heart. So it's like there's no room for anything new. There's no room for love, or there's no room for reconciliation, because every person that you meet after that is going to be, you're going to sabotage it because you're going to stop yourself from working on this energy. And I feel like everyone that you come in contact with has been like triggering this heart inside of you, where it's like, you may be like, I'm tired of meeting these type of connections, but really it's because you're resisting the change that they're showing you. Like, I feel like each one of these connections, they walk away just as hurt. So now you've become a heartbreaker after you've been heartbroken. So this is like hurt people hurting people. They start to feel juggled by you, non-committal energy. They start to feel like they're an option. They start to feel like you are Like, they would have to literally not love themselves to be with you. Right? But then you want them to be loyal to you. And let's say that eventually you do heal and you don't require these energies that came towards you, thinking that they could get a long-term commitment out of you to do so many nice things for you, to support you, to try to do all these different things. And the only thing that they're left with is a realization that they only help prepare you for your person. And that's a hard pill to swallow for them. And all you can say is, I'm sorry, right? But the truth is, you were sabotaging it from the jump. All right? And you were sabotaging it saying, like, I'm going to see how much they're going to let me do this. And I'm like, you're judging their character, but you're actually playing a very malicious game. It's a toxic trait that you have. Hurt people, right? No one's going to get into my heart. I'm going to keep everybody waiting. And if they leave me, it validates my intuition and it validates my sabotaging ways that they were never for me to begin with, right? And if they stick around, it validates my sabotaging traits as well, because they're not worth my love. It's like, you damned if you do, you damned if you don't. However, there's someone in your energy that's familiar. They know this about you. You feel like they can see this about you. They accept this about you. And for the first time, you feel seen. So there's someone in your life where you feel seen, like the illusion doesn't work, the facade doesn't work. Okay? There's a familiar energy that allows you to play this charades type of game with them. Like, okay, I'll play this secret game with you. You know, we can play 50 Shades of Grey out here. We can do this. And this energy does that with you. They're under your illusion. You feel safe. You feel like they accept you for who you are. So why would you stop dealing with that person or that familiar energy to chase after someone from your past, or to chase after someone that is going to talk back? This is like not wanting someone that's going to talk back, or you know what I'm saying? Like, you're pretty much settling for an elf on the shelf, someone that's just like a yes man, a yes person. But then it's like, once it gets boring, then you don't want to do it anymore. And then you end up ghosting them and hurting them or fading away. And the more persistent that they chase you, you end up being like, I'm not interested because you're chasing me. And it's like, what? You set the game up for them. You rigged the game for them to chase you, and then you don't want them to chase you. Like, what's up with that? Yeah, because it's less work. You see what I'm saying? It's less work. They're able to let you work in peace. You have more control. You feel more in your ego. You feel like these connections they're willing to work for you. They're willing to work with you. They're willing to give you something that you don't necessarily have to work so hard for. But then after a while, you get bored with your own challenge. You know what I'm saying? And every time you emotionally detach or pull away, you trigger that familiar energy where they start to feel like you're being defensive and guarded, and they need to chase you. And then they start to feel like you're leaving them for someone else, and it makes them insecure. And then you get irritated with their insecurities. But the truth of the matter is, you want that person that stopped talking to you abruptly to come back and chase you. It's like you want to leave this familiar energy, go get the person that you felt left you, have that person come chase you again, so you can have everything back to normal and you can continue living in your illusion. You want everybody to live comfortably under this illusion. You want both realities. Okay? This is like you being given the option between the red or the blue pill, right? You choose to be woke. You choose to wake up and have that transformation. And the divine masculines in this energy is like the guy in Matrix that says, I want to make a deal with the devil so I can go back to the matrix and eat that steak, because the reality that the steak is not real is so much more uncomfortable than just, you know, going with the flow. It's so much more comfortable than going against the grain. It's like you're resisting the road less traveled for the road that's always traveled, just to, I feel like you're doing it for the glory of yourself based off of your childhood and the things that you had to do. You had to grow up very fast. You may have had a very rough life, whether that was rough where you had to, like I said, grow up fast, or rough where you had a single parent and that parent had to struggle. So it's like you kind of become the very thing that you despised in your own father by trying to avoid being that way. You have in so many ways become the same thing that you have tried to not be. So the very thing that you despise, you have become. And this is like being on the pursuit of happiness and never being able to attain it due to those self-sabotaging ways. So when love doesn't work, you go back to, well, money over bitches, because money don't disappoint. Right? And then you start doing different things, overworking yourself, feeling overwhelmed, overworked, pulling in extra hours, and living off the fix that you got that stroked your ego. And then when your ego's not being stroked anymore, then you have to go back and find, well, who's the one that stopped stroking my ego? Because you want to eat steak in the matrix. That's what the energy is. Wanting to be woke, but utilizing your woke abilities to manipulate the system to work for you. Because it's like, it's a doggy dog world out there. Like, get yours. Everybody's getting theirs. So there's no integrity. So the divine is saying you got to operate with integrity. There is a divine opportunity here. But will it require consistency and work? Hell yeah. There's an opportunity for a counterpart energy here. And you're settling for dimes, nickels, and pennies when you can have a whole fucking quarter. Yeah. And this is like, you have to go back and heal your abandonment wounds and do some soul searching. This is finally looking at the man or the woman in the mirror about where you adopted this type of thought process, where you adopted this work ethic, and who told you that this was the way to operate in your divine masculine energy. So you're being realigned and you're being made to recognize something. And if you don't recognize it through the relationships or the counterpart relationships, it's going to affect your money. It's going to affect your recognition at work, like your ability to perform, your physical vessel. Like, I mean, you know, it's going to start speaking to you. You're going to have to, where it's like, you literally going to have to be like, damn, I got sick. I had to take a break because I was just overworking. And those are the only times where you're not so stubborn and you're willing to listen. Is like, these are from my divine masculines in that energy where it's like you will literally push your physical body to work, to do overtime, to literally carry all these different loads, and ignore your body. You won't go to the doctor. You won't really follow your appointments. And when someone's reminding you of that, you feel like they're mothering you. There's just this energy of a series of events that are about to happen because you woke, but you're still in the matrix. And this is like calling you. This is a divine call. Like, you have to ascend. You're supposed to be ascending, and healing and changing and growing. But you've been trying to like drag it out to like the very last minute. You're a procrastinator. You get things done when you feel the heat or the pressure. That's when you go ahead and let shit go. That's when you go ahead and drop those bad habits. That's when you go ahead and heal those addictions. That's when you go ahead and handle your abandonment wounds. But it's like, until it affects your money, it can affect your relationships all day. But the only thing you care about is your reputation, your position of status, your work ethic, and all these. Everything else is just memories. It's just like fades in the distance. So you're about to be made to take a break, a vacation, a pause. 4-4 here. This is like, okay, you wouldn't take a day off work. You wouldn't do it. Well, when you catch that cough, or when you made to lay in that bed, all that stubborn energy will be addressed at that moment. When you really sick, and that's when you be like, God, please, if you get me to the other side of this, then I will change. This is like, Spirit is saying, why we gotta do you like that? Okay, as a child, you may have had a sibling that always was praised more than you, or vice versa. Like you have this golden child, scapegoat type of energy. You may have been the child that was always made to do the right thing despite what the other person was doing, and it distorted your perception around love. It distorted your perception around fair energy. In your mind, from your perspective, life ain't fair. Okay? So you have been making yourself just get over it or get on with it. But it's time for you to take a break and love yourself differently. Ooh, marriage. Ooh, did you feel yourself cringe when you heard that? Marriage? Who? You? That's what I feel like you're saying. Me? Marriage? You are attracting emotional fulfillment and unconditional love. All right, you're attracting exactly what you need. You got thorns, and you got child out here, Lord. We got children, we got thorns. Weathering the challenges ahead will bring in a new and positive future. So some challenges that's coming ahead is bringing in a rebirth. Universal energy brings you opportunities and possibilities in love and finances. But the answer is going to be within. You got the key here. Something about the key to the door. Someone has the key to your heart. New beginnings, directions, and adventures await for those ready to let go of the past. Are you ready for love? This card ain't even supposed to be in here, and it says broken heart. Wow. There are two paths ahead. Be true to yourself. Broken heart. There are spiritual messages and great wisdom to be found during this period of transition. Divine Masculine, I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Toodles.